Alright folks, we're back for Scratch Division title match action here at Bowl El Paso, where two Arizona bowlers have invaded Texas. How did you allow that to happen? Come on, Texas. Aaron Foshee and Riley Dempsey going at it for the title here. Two excellent bowlers. Two pretty good stories here as well. Riley has had a fantastic start to the 2010-11 season and has looked awful good at times today too. Riley led the first 4 rounds of today's tournament and looked for all the world like he was going to get near record territory until he slowed down a little bit in qualifying, and then Aaron caught him and led the last 4 games of the tournament, and he looked like he was going to go towards record pace, nearly shooting 800 in the semifinals to consolidate that top seed. Riley has done quite a bit of winning in the last couple of months, as contrasted by Aaron, whose last win was approximately 1978 in the handicap division. We'll tell you more about that. Thank you, LaBrel. Appreciate that. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. This is the 3rd frame. Riley's working on a strike, can take an early 9-pin lead if he can double up here. Oh. Ring and 10 there. Carry's been pretty good today at Bowl El Paso. It took a score of -27 to make the scratch cut, so just shy of a 200 average. However, Aaron led the tournament today, thanks in part to that almost 800 series at +412. With Riley not too far behind at +320. Good spare shooter, cross lane, no problem at the 10. I picked on Aaron there. Aaron was one of the best handicap division bowlers that we had fairly early on in the Arizona conference. And then when he started growing up a little bit, we lost him to baseball. And he decided to pick a real sport like bowling and come back to us. And one of his very first tournaments back to us with us, he bowled scratch and shot 300 at a Cactus Bowl, and has been knocking on the door of scratch victory since then, but has yet to achieve it. And you know that he wants it to happen right here in Texas. Strike spare strike for Fosh 0.0. Sorry, he's Fosh 2.0 now, thanks to Ebonite. And we got a tied up match through 3 frames. How you feel, Mr. Cintrone? Pretty happy about yourself? You should be. 8-year-old second place finisher Luis there. Be sure to watch his video on the YouTube as well. See Aaron's approach? Uses about 3/4 the approach. That little hop step at the end that he's had ever since he was a little kid, and that ball goes right in the 1-3 for a powerful double there. Riley, one of the true stylists on our tour. Proof that you don't have to throw this big, huge cranker ball that so many kids these days do. Both of these guys really are. There's plenty of rotation on the ball, don't get me wrong, but it's not so much rotation that it throws off the other good things about a physical game, like balance and repetition and timing and all of that. Riley's developed this little elbow twitch that he'll do for quite a while sometimes until he gets his body in the right position. Look at that follow through and balance. Creeps up high that time, leaves the 4. Riley favors that more end-over-end rotation as opposed to a lot of side and tilt that a lot of bowlers like too. That allows him to do a couple of things. It allows him to stay righter on the lane later than most bowlers. That's a possible advantage, and it also allows him to cover fewer boards on a condition too. So the fewer boards you cover, the fewer boards you got to figure out what's going on them. He's going to play off the pocket line in this house shot and hook the ball into the 4-pin. You can get away with that in a house pattern. You don't want to do that when we lay out our tricky stuff. And even there, that ball almost took right by the 4. Early in the step ladder was Danny Cobine beating Billy Reed in round 1, 179 to 152, so a low-scoring opener. Cobine then got by Chris Brown in round 2, and Chris left an open frame in the 10th frame. Then Dempsey was all over Cobine in the semifinals with that 299 game that you just caught the tail end of in the handicap video. Make sure you check that out if you hadn't. To set up the 1 versus 2 that it looked like we were headed for all day long. A little further right. Oh, and this ball still checks out. Typically, Bowl El Paso has a lot of friction in the back ends and on the outsides. If the ball gets right of 5, especially on the house pattern, that ball's going to check up. And the ball gets to that back end, it's really going to move. We've seen some of the years here that we've been here where the ball just covers so many boards in the last 10 feet of the lane. A little quick at the spare. Wow. Almost sloppy at the spare there. He does go hard and straight that time, and darn near slides by the 4. Bye, Sophie. See you tomorrow.
See ya.
I thought we were plaque girling.
Well, we have to go eat, apparently.
Then who's gonna? Have you sublet your job?
No, you have to put your wig on.
Should probably turn around. We have a volunteer.
Put a wig on and.
Well, it's sort of a wig.
Tell him to take off his beanie to do it. Do it.
You can see his new hair.
The consensus is you're only allowed to without the cap. Oh, there we go. Very good.
Alright, let's go. I'm coming.
Meanwhile, Foshee triples up there. Out to the early, what is that, about 19-pin lead. They're in a couple of title matches here, so should have that experience out of his way. I'm going to be playing pretty much on top of each other in the lanes, right between third and second arrow. Wow, and that one stayed out right and sliced those pins apart. It wasn't his best execution, but he'll take it. It's a 4-bagger on the screen. About time Aaron caught some breaks on video. Riley with already a win this year down at Kyrene. Back-to-back wins, of course, beg your pardon. That time gets the ball to held, and it just barely did too. So one of the things you'll see out of good bowlers is you'll see them adjust even though they struck, because you know there's plenty of room at the pocket here. So it's important that you're constantly fine-tuning your game and anticipating what's going to happen next. Even though that ball was in the 1-3, it barely held before checking too soon. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Riley get a board or two left of that the next time he's on 12. Now the last time he was on 11, he had the same problem with the ball checking up a couple feet sooner than he intended it to. So this is likely going to be further left than he was standing before. It looks like it is. So he stands a little bit further behind on the approach, using just about the full approach. That first little shuffle step to get it going. Nope, and you could tell at the foul line that he didn't like that. That ball was left of target, but also cut short. So it got it in the way he intended it to, but also didn't get the ball to project right out to the break point that he wanted to, and the result's a nasty one for him. The virtually unmakeable 4-6-7. However, never say never. Ooh, my, got fairly close on that actually. And Dempsey's in big time in the hole now. Isn't that funny? Right after a 299 game, how quickly a pair can change on you. The best he can do is 213. Aaron could even open once if he doesn't blow enough count and still win this tournament if he doesn't double again. Strike here is going to be near a lock city. Oh yeah, destroys that rack. Fosh 2.0 has never been this close to scratch victory before. He's one of the ones where I feel like if he does win, those floodgates are just going to open up for him. As he's older, he's paid his dues, he knows how to get all kinds of different conditions. He struggled last week up in Portland. The whole crowd of Southwesterners went up to the Pacific Northwest to see what they're all about, why they keep winning all the titles when they come south, and and he had a tough time on two very difficult patterns. Eating it up right here though, and 6 in a row is going to give him this title. As happy as I'm sure he is, it's different when it's a blowout like this. Well, A, when it's a blowout, and B, when it's with your own friends. Riley and Aaron and those 3 yahoos over there all came in the same car that Jared drove. So, guaranteed an Arizona contingent, and Jared said at least one of these bowlers has to win or he's not going to take him again. Well, we're going to have 2 in one day, as Steven, and no matter which of them wins, even though it's going to be Aaron here. Well, a disappointing finish for Riley after he started out just a house of fire. Riley's first 4 games today were, as I shuffle through my cards here, 279, 259, 216. After that, the wheels fell off at the end of qualifying. He got it back together in the semis, then obviously that 299 that we just saw. But a lane can change quickly. Knowing you're going up something that's really good like Aaron can make you pinch a shot off, and it looks like he just totally lost 11 at this point. A shot that's a total walled up shot for you, you can just take a drop of oil less on the lane and your break point can change by an arrow. That's modern bowling, and that's frustrating for Riley right there, but jubilation for the Fosh daddy. Two of the nicer guys on tour too. Aaron especially is always good with the younger kids and always encouraging brothers. Kind of the role model that you want to see on tour, and right now a role model on the lanes too, as that gives them a 7-bagger and a potential 280 finish here. Rolling over Dempsey. Plaque man is on his way. That was him passing by. These two are good buddies. They'll probably go out to eat in about 20 minutes, and I guess Aaron's buying in this case. Riley tries a little further right and actually gets the ball to set up nicely there. Always one of those, oh, now it works shots. Let's see if Aaron can get all of them for the 280 win. Nope, goes up a little high.
So now he carries.
Yeah, always those 10th frame.
Always carries.
There it was.
Just a little bit left.
Yeah. It's amazing how
Sure.
you lose just a drop of oil and your break point goes an arrow the other direction. Surprised that didn't fall since it didn't matter. Well, great for Aaron, a long-awaited first scratch win. Let's see if the floodgates open up now. Potential for many, many more out of him. For Riley, it just continues a great season. Second place double points is going to get him a big lead in the all-conference points race early on. And there it is.
Nice set today, man.
792 in the semis and 254 to win it all. And a professional end for Riley. We'll hand out the plaques to these two finalists and our two other ones, and we'll see you back for more fun tomorrow in Old El Paso. See you soon.